we are really right now at an historical moment. We're at a moment where the rising tide of obesity and diet-related illness is being matched by an upswell of awareness, of resources, and of action on this issue. We're here tonight not just to celebrate the publication of a book. We're here to celebrate the maturity of a movement.
Oran has been a passionate, committed friend of the food justice movement since before I entered it.
I've always been moved often by what he's saying, and also like learn from it.
If we're going to fix this food system, we have to go beyond growing gardens. We have to make the transition from conscious consumers to engaged citizens. We have to take the next step, and that's why I wrote this book.
This book in particular excites me because I've always felt like so much of what comes out are really focused on the problems without really focusing on how any of us can solve those problems. And so I'm excited about the book because it doesn't seem to be just necessarily preaching to the choir, but more talking to everyone about how we can come to solve that kind of problem.
It's something that people can learn from. I hope this book could just start a conversation.
I think it's incredibly accessible to many, many different audiences. For those that are actually really in the movement at the grassroots level, there are wonderful models that are provided, best practices, a lot of hope in terms of what people are actually doing on the ground.
Well, as an educator, as a person who's been in the movement, I've looked at his work, and he's able to break down policy as well as touch community elements.
Especially if we're looking for policy solutions, like there'd probably be a go-to reference. I've been waiting for something like that, and this is basically filling a hole that I was already looking for. So it's right on.
I think when people read this book, they're going to start to realize, oh, there's a role that I could play.
There's a lot of ideas and resources here, and hopefully that'll allow the movement to spread to places where it's not currently taking hold.
We'll never know which innovation or which model is the one that brings us to a tipping point for change in our food system, but it will happen. It will happen sooner or later. I wrote Fair Food so it could happen sooner and not later, because, my friends, the time is now.
I like the idea that we're at this seminal moment. I hope we are. I hope we're about to make some major changes.
Ultimately, it's about now. This is our story of now, and we can act now. And here's a whole variety of ideas and models and solutions that can give us all inspiration.